by Sean McCleary, contributing writer. In 5D.com there is a lot of research done on the phenomenon of quantum entanglement. Einstein called this activity, spooky action at a distance. There was a recent image captured by physicists at the University of Glasgow of this occurrence taking place. I do work in evolutionary cosmology, and my work is somewhat different than the mainstream approach in physics, but I have managed to gain a powerful understanding of how evolutionary activity with time, space, matter and energy happens, especially on a quantum level, by incorporating thought into energy. There has been debate in the scientific community on this proposal, but my work reflects some important matters in cosmology, in which I can provide very plausible explanations. On the most powerful quantum level, there are frequency vibrations that represent thought that are contained in energy everywhere. The reason for this is thought is responsible for conceptualization, which drives evolutionary development and activity. Thought is represented in frequency vibrations because this is energy experiencing evolution. When conceptualization takes place in space and time through these frequencies, what happens is this generates energy with evolution, and subatomic particles are introduced into the universe. These frequency vibrations are very powerful concentrations of light and dark energy. Thought in higher frequency vibrations produce light energy, and thought in lower frequency vibrations produce dark energy. Photons carry and distribute light because photons represent the evolutionary development of light into matter, and matter in the universe requires light energy. I have reached an important conclusion on how quantum entanglement happens. It is actually not that difficult to understand. It happens due to certain evolutionary activity on a quantum level that takes place with thought and energy. Pretend that you and your entire body are the structure of the universe. The human body is all comprised of consciousness and energy, not just the brain. If you look down and think about your big toe on your right foot, the thought process or frequency vibrations become connected through your will of performing the process of looking at your toe. What happens is very quickly that thought and energy become connected through your will, which drives the evolutionary development of your life. The thought and frequency vibrations in your toe are going to respond with an equal and opposite reaction at the same time as the thought and energy in the brain. This is because they are in two different locations in time and space. What connects the particles associated with this activity is the will or conceptualization in the evolutionary process of thought, energy and matter. The behavior of quantum entanglement occurs because the will that drives evolutionary activity by thought and energy is affecting matter at the same time in two different locations. Related article, Ascension Symptoms, Body Vibrations. The same thing happens in the universe with subatomic activity. This might sound preposterous, but it is actually the universe experiencing thought and conceptualization concerning evolutionary activity and development from a reference point of one location to another. It is the universe experiencing self-actualization and making different observations with thought and energy which cause quantum entanglement to occur. I do work on the Higgs field as well, and the Higgs field is evolving in a very powerful way in Earth's environment right now. The Higgs field is like the identity of the universe, which drives the evolutionary development of matter and the way that matter interacts with energy, and is the foundation for evolutionary development in the universe. The Higgs field contains the most powerful concentration of the frequency vibrations because this field of energy represents the identity of the universe's existence. There is more thought, energy and subatomic activity being introduced into Earth's environment because of a very powerful increase in evolutionary development and advancement. This is the reason that this image was captured by physicists here, is because the vibrational frequencies of thought and energy contained in the individuals who captured the image corresponded with the will contained in the thought and energy in Earth's environment. Human beings are extensions of thought, energy and matter from the universe, because through evolutionary development human beings had to be conceptualized. With the scientists who captured the image, it was like the universe looking at itself in Earth's environment with a corresponding will from human consciousness and thought and energy. A lot of scientists who do work in astrophysics, astronomy and quantum physics will vehemently resist the proposal of consciousness or thought being incorporated into matter, energy, time and space. There has been more discussion on this matter with the increase in panpsychism in the scientific community. There is a reason that a lot of scientists resist this proposal, and it has to do with different levels of evolutionary development and resistance. Related article, David Wilcock, the solar system is moving into a new area of vibration. This universe had to be conceptualized before the introduction, because this universe has an identity and performs various functions. Before this universe existed, there was thought with frequency vibrations and light and dark energy everywhere, which has always existed. This is how the concept of infinity was introduced into consciousness here on Earth. The universe was introduced by the convergence of frequency vibrations and conceptualization, which generated the introduction of matter and caused the Big Bang to happen. I cover how this happened in my previous work. When matter was introduced into existence, there was a very powerful resistance to evolutionary development that occurred because matter had not previously existed. The resistance occurred between thought and vibration and matter itself. Earth is in a region of time and space that is 13.51 billion years old. There is thought in this region of the universe that contains memory of the early formation and introduction of the universe. Earth is located fairly close to the origin of where this universe was introduced. Through the acceleration and expansion of time and space, the activity that occurred with the introduction of the universe transferred into Earth's environment. Earth and life on Earth are evolutionary extensions of what occurred with the introduction of the universe. Scientists who are primarily concerned with matter and the way that matter behaves with energy that resist the proposal of thought being incorporated into time and space, represent the resistance that was experienced with the conceptualization of the introduction of matter into the universe. This is just a natural occurrence with evolutionary activity on Earth. Astrophysicists, quantum physicists and astronomers who study the universe and the origin of the universe have been driving the evolutionary development of thought, matter and energy into Earth's environment from the universe and assisting with the evolutionary development of the Higgs field in Earth's environment. Scientists who resist the proposal of consciousness or thought being incorporated into energy everywhere have been helping the Higgs field evolve here in an extremely powerful way, because the Higgs field was introduced with the universe and all the activity that occurred with the introduction. There is activity from the scientific community with research concentration and focus on a global level where the universe is concerned. Most of the scientists will resist the proposal of thought being integrated into energy because of lack of empirical evidence. This has been very important for the evolutionary development of the Higgs field here in Earth's environment. Related article, Rosie Neal, a wave of massive light will happen over the next few years when the introduction of the universe took place with thought represented by frequency vibrations and matter. There was both evolutionary force and evolutionary resistance that occurred with the introduction itself. These scientists who study the behavior of matter and energy in the universe are using thought contained in their consciousness. They are using thought with their will in scientific applications with matter and energy and experiencing resistance in their consciousness at the same time. They are connecting with matter, energy and the universe with their will and thought process where evolutionary advancement is concerned and experiencing a level of resistance at the same time. This is what happened with some of the primary activity with the introduction of the universe itself. These individuals have been helping with the evolutionary advancement of thought, matter and energy in a very powerful way. On a global level, there is a very powerful level of diversity where consciousness, matter and energy is concerned, and all of this activity exemplifies the evolutionary development of Earth itself. There are very powerful and remarkable changes emerging now with planet Earth and the universe, and soon the human race is going to experience a very powerful change in the structure of reality as we know. The evolution of science itself is emerging, and soon there will be changes implemented into different research and development. Sean McCleary. See exclusive in 5D videos and ad-free articles on Patreon for a minimal donation. https://www.patreon.com/in5D. Follow in5D on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, WG1WGA, Patreon.